15 dark secrets about SHAQ O'Neal that will shock you. 1. Was Shaq estranged from his biological father? Yes, you heard it right. Shaquille Rashawn O'Neal was born on March 6, 1972, remained estranged from his biological father until he was in his 40s. Shaq weighed 7 pounds 13 ounces at the time of his birth, which is about average for a baby. Shaquille's mother, Lucille O'Neal, just graduated from high school, while his biological father, Joe Toney, was an all-state high school guard who lost his basketball scholarship to Seton Hall due to drug addiction. It is said that Toney was sentenced to federal prison while Shaq was still an infant. Later, when Toney was released, Lucille had already got Joe to legally relinquish his parental rights to Shaq's stepfather, Philip Harrison. His stepfather was an Army drill sergeant who raised him from the time Shaq was 2. However, Shaq's resulting childhood was a fulfilling one. 2. Shaq was already 6 feet 4 inches tall at age 10. A 10-year-old with a height of 6 feet 4 inches tall, isn't that unbelievable? Well, yes, I'm talking about Shaq O'Neal. And what you might not know is that no one was more responsible for kids quitting youth basketball in the greater Newark area than the big Shaqtus in the mid-'80s. 3. The story behind Hack-a-Shaq technique. You can actually blame former Dallas Mavericks coach Don Nelson for inventing the Hack-a-Shaq technique. It was used for stopping Dennis Rodman. In the road game of December 1997 against the Chicago Bulls, Nelson asked rookie Bubba Wells to foul Rodman in hopes of sending the poor shooting worm to the line and steal a few possessions. Surprisingly, Nelson's incredibly annoying strategy worked, and Shaq got victimized and brutally low 52.7% career free throw shooter. 4. Shaq has a major stake in esports. Calling Shaq the big controller would be no mistake. Shaq was early to esports as an investor. In 2016, Shaquille, along with Yankees vet Alex Rodriguez and former Philly Jimmy Rollins, was a member of the ownership group that has a stake in Energy Gaming, which is a prominent organization of esports athletes. Who knows, Shaq would become the general manager of Kings Guard, the Sacramento Kings' entrant into the NBA's official 2K League. 5. Shaq loves nicknames. Who else can be better and clever nicknaming than Shaq? And it crosses genres. He's had nicknames and alternate personas spin off into a video game, Shaq Fu, and a rap album. His early nickname, The Diesel, became Shaq Diesel, a 1993 rap album featuring Phife Dawg. And that's not all. The Big Aristotle, an MDE, most dominant ever, he crafted this nickname after his second Lakers title. Shaq is the one who coined the Big Fundamental for San Antonio Spurs legend and constant Western Conference rival Tim Duncan, which has stood the test of time early in his career. 6. The New York Times were not a fan of Shaq's acting performances. The Times' review of 1997's Steel praised Shaq's endearing smile and genial personality, but felt impelled to admit Shaq's an almost total lack of charisma and acting skills. Mr. O'Neal can't hold a flickering lamp to Robin Williams. The paper of record claimed and bemoaned that he didn't slam dunk the script into the nearest wastebasket. Since then, Shaq has done quite a plenty of cameos in everything from The Simpsons and The Real House Husbands of Hollywood to The Lego Movie and What Women Want. 7. Shaq compelled the NBA to change the rulebook. Over the course of his career, Shaq soundly defeated many inferior opponents, and a few of those opponents were made of solid metal. In a game against the Phoenix Suns in 1993, a particularly thunderous dunk caused the collapse of the entire basket and its stanchions. The big man made such a habit of terrifying the equipment that the NBA freaked out and was left with no option but to reinforce their centerpieces. 8. As Lakers teammates, Shaq and Kobe didn't initially click on court. The time spent in Hollywood was the most prominent portion of Shaq's career, and his 8 seasons with the Lakers brought 3 NBA championships to the city. While Shaq's LA years are known for being unfathomably dominant, many wonder how fruitful they could have been if he and teammate Kobe Bryant hadn't been so incompatible off the court. 9. Sickened by the smell of alcohol? Shaq was immediately the toast of the NBA and got his name as Rookie of the Year for the 92-93 season. For his first 4 seasons, Shaquille nabbed the starting spot in the All-Star game. Although young Shaq was the life of the party, at 21, he couldn't stomach alcohol, and more precisely, can't even tolerate the smell of table wine. 10. Shaq's LSU teams was a nightmare in March Madness. Despite featuring the monstrous 7-foot 1-inch, 294-pound Shaq for 3 full SEC seasons, Shaq's LSU Tigers only went 2-3 in 3 seasons in the Big Dance, never reaching the second round. Shaq ended his 91-92 SEC Player of the Year season with a remarkable score of 36 points and 12 rebounds. 11. Shaquille left off the original Dream Team. Shaq famously left off the original Dream Team, and yes, he was upset about it. Shaq was a junior at LSU and fully eligible, but the spot instead went with Christian Laettner, who was thought of as a more polished and a good fit for the position. For sure, the young Shaq didn't take it well and got really pissed off. 12. Shaq led his college's conference in basically everything his sophomore year. The 1990-91 season was Shaq's coming out party. The Diesel was a man among boys, becoming the first player to ever lead the SEC in scoring, 27.6 points per game, 14.7 rebounds, and a field goal percentage of 62.8%. And Shaq took his opponents by surprise. 13. Shaq's jersey number inspired by an NBA legend with a twist. Rather than deferring and shying away from his clear physical advantages, Shaq embraced his size, and the man behind Shaq using it to score under the basket is Harrison. The school didn't have a number 33 jersey, so Shaq's attempt to honor Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, the trailblazing NBA center, were thwarted. Hence, Shaq's famous number 32 jersey came to existence. 14. Shaq's stepfather once lost some teeth to a Boston Celtics legend. Harrison, who was a gruff parent, often relied on physical discipline for the young Shaq and didn't hesitate in punishing his son himself. Though tough, Harrison was a pillar in Shaq's life, and Shaq frequently praised Phil for keeping him out of trouble. Luckily for little Shaquille, Harrison was a ball player himself, and he actually coached Shaq's youth basketball teams throughout his childhood. 15. Shaq was arrested by guards. Shaq once went to see Buckingham Palace and got arrested by the Queen's guards. One of his friends made a bet with him that Shaq was a strenuous man, still won't be able to make a Queen's Guard move. It was when Shaq took it to heart and started making some moves and accidentally bumped into the guard. For this reason, he ended up in prison. Thanks for watching. Hope you got some value out of this video. Don't forget to smash the bell icon and hit the subscribe button.